G'day YouTubers, Harry Houdini here, down under, upside down apparently. Well, so it goes if you see that clip on Ian's channel, the 135th scale show. Go and have a look at him. Have a look at the funny little clip that he did, where apparently I'm upside down. It's a hoot. Anyhow, I'll put a link on this video so that you can cross-link to him. Bit of cross-pollination. Oh, well, what a shitty week it's been here in Australia. Yes, well, not all of Australia, just generally the cottage and me. Well, first off, last weekend it seemed the gas had run out. There was no bloody hot water. So I was having to have cold showers. It was horrible. And it took bloody 4 days for the gas man to turn up here. And turned up and I thought, oh, thank goodness for that. Hello, mate. Yeah, fill me gas tanks up. He went, hang on. I said, they're full. What's your bloody problem? So turned out we had a fiddle with the hot water system and it's on the blink. Oh dear, so we had to try and get a plumber, and there's only one plumber in town that does gas hot water, and he was going on holidays that day. I managed to catch him in a nick of time, and he turned up here and he was a bit grumpy. He said, oh look, I'll have a look, but I've only got a short amount of time. I haven't got enough time to fix anything. Going on holidays. It's Christmas. So much for Christmas cheer. Anyhow, he had a fiddle and a faff and banged a few things, and he got it working. So that was good. So we had hot water for 2 days. Things seemed to be looking up. And then the computer died. Well, not this one. This is an iPad. This is okay. Thank goodness it's a bloody iPad. But my main computer, the one I do my job on, oh, it decided to bloody die on me. We don't know what it is. I think it's the hard drive. It's having a hard life. Too much porn probably run through it, you know, wore it out. Oops. No. We don't do that sort of thing. It's strictly a work computer. Anyhow, it's in the shop being fixed. They can't look at it till Monday because it bloody died on a Friday, wouldn't you know it? So, yeah, so we thought, oh, well, that's 2. And then number 3, well, we got trolled. Yeah, some of you have seen about that. Anyhow, we're bloody idiots, trolled my channel. We're over that. Won't give them any more ammunition, won't give them any more satisfaction on that. So that's all good and things are coming along good and that's fine. And I went down the Riverside Scale Modelers yesterday and met up with everybody and that was terrific, and more on that in a sec. And then got home last night and thought, oh, it's good, I'll just have a hot shower. Hot water system's on the blink again. Oh, bloody hell. Anyhow, we'll sort all that out Monday. What a week. Anyhow, what I thought I'd do in this video, because I sort of haven't got much done on any bloody models, all these catastrophes going on, is went down to Riverside Scale Modelers to see my mates in the club and been thinking of building a Panther. And lo and behold, I'm online, you know, fiddling away, faffing around. And up on the Australian second-hand swap and sell modeler site, bingo bongo, up comes this Panther for a couple of shekels. I thought that was good, and it's my mate Bernard from the Scale Modelers. So I went, I'll take that, 2 shekels, how can you go wrong? And I bought this Panther off Bernard, and he gave it to me at the Scale Modelers meeting, which saved postage, didn't it? Bernard got his couple of shekels, everyone was happy. Now, I knew, because he told me, that somebody had started this kit, and that's why it's kind of cheap. Well, they hadn't done much. All they'd done was made one of these. Right? And they'd done a good job of it, that's all right. I could live with that. So at the Scale Modelers meeting, because you have to glue something, I went, okay, I'll make the other one. so it's got a couple of these little sprockety fellas made, and that's it. But apart from that, I can do a kit review because everything's sort of still in the bags, and it's pretty interesting. And it's huge. It's huge. I did take the upper and lower hulls out because the upper hull was starting to bend on the sprue and looked like it might sort of suffer a bit more damage. So I popped it off, and then I banged out the lower hull, and that's going to be a big sucker. You know, it really is quite big. In fact, we compared it to a King Tiger that we had there, and it's as big, if not bigger, than the King Tiger. So this is a Panther Ausf G, and it's a command version. It's got a bit of a commandy antenna. I'll show you that in a minute. And yeah, it's going to be a mighty kit. A little bit different to some of the other Dragon that I built. This is Imperial Series. Now I've heard mixed things about Imperials, you know. I've got the 3945 series from Dragon and really like those. The Panzer II, even with the misgivings I had, which was mainly me trying to understand instructions from Dragon, but very nice kit. And I've got, I picked up in that sale, that B&A, the Christmas sale, I picked up a really nice one with an unpronounceable name. That's, you probably haven't seen that video yet. Yeah, I've recorded it, but I haven't posted it. Bit out of chronological order. It's a bit like Doctor Who. Things are happening and they're not exactly in the same time zone. Bit timey-wimey. You'll get to see them later in the week. Oh, that's about the Skoda? No. What is it? 38.2 Hetzer. Yeah, it's the Hetzer. I've got that nearly finished, but I couldn't be bothered finishing that off today. I've got the upper hull nearly done. There's a few fiddly, faffy bits. Anyhow, let's back to the Panther, right? Now, there's this Panther. There's this Pussycat. And it's a mighty kit and it's very well detailed, but a lot of the stuff's sort of moulded in, which is kind of what I hear is some of the complaints about the Imperial Series. But it's okay. Bloody thick plastic. This tubs, this is a heavy little sucker. At least you know it's not warped. Well, if it was warped, you'd never bloody unwarp it. It's pretty bloody thick plastic and it's solid as all hell, but that's really good. Now that would be bigger than my SU-152, amazingly. And so after doing that tiny little stub, this is a huge thing to do. This is enormous, right? And that's okay. That'll be a welcome change. And I need to get a few things finished on the bench, but I thought I'll do this review. So I'll stop waffling and let's get on with it and let's have a look at the kit. So what do you get for your 2 shekels? Well, you get the very old, boring black and white, well, blue and black and white instructions Dragon. You get the same picture that was on the outside of the box, which is all very nice with the tritoma colour camo. And as you can see, there's lots of blue bits. And for those of you that are Dragon virgins, Dragon has a habit of making a kit and then making a squillion versions of it and just reusing old sprues from every other bloody kit they've ever made. And then they only really want a couple of parts from them, so you get a sprue map and there's blue everywhere. It looks like bloody Harpic Flashmatic. Do you have Harpic Flashmatic in your country? It's shit you put in your loo here and it goes blue every time you flush it. Well, it looks like a blue loo, doesn't it? Anyhow, we'll work through them from A to G and we'll see if these sprues are any good. Okay, I'll just put that to the side. Now, well, we might as well do the bloody tub while we're here. Okay, so here's that tub. Now, there's a lot of detail on it. It's already built in. And that's okay, you know, it saves me doing it. It means it's going to be a lot easier kit. There's not even any photo etch in this one. And that's the thing, the details are already moulded on. And, you know, it's okay, it's reasonably crisp and clean. There was a little bit of flash to clean off this thing. But it's solid bloody plastic, I tell you. You know, you wouldn't want to bang your noggin with that. So, obviously none of these flaps are going to open. Well, some of these hatches will. But it's all there. I don't know a lot about Panthers, so if I get anything wrong, just put some notes and correct me. Because I'm a Panther version. This version of my Panther I haven't had before. Now, all the swing arms are already on there, so you don't have to do that, and bit suspension things. So you know, there was more to do in my tiny little Stug in some ways. But there's a lot of parts. We'll get to that. So this is already on here, which you know. So you won't be putting any little torsion bars inside there, but that's okay. That's already done. You know, you can't pose this in some weird position for a diorama, but I won't be doing that, so that's not a problem. And again, really strong bloody blasting. I tell you, you know, you wouldn't want to drop it on your toe. You'd have a nasty injury. Okay, let's go on to sprue A. Here's sprue A, and there's not a lot of this we're going to use, really. You'll sort of use these little sort of fellas which go on the back there, as far as I can tell. There's a few little bits and bobs here. You will use your tools, which are nice, and not having any photo etch, all of the tools have got their clasps moulded on them. Now, it is the older kind where the clasps are a little bit boring, but that's alright. If I wanted to, I could scrape those off, and I've got a whole lot of clasps left over from the Panzer II, because I just basically avoided using the photo etch on the Panzer II. Don't know if they'd work on this. Don't know if I could be bothered, really. That might be all right. That might be fine. So you get to use those. All of this you don't bloody use. A couple of little sort of bits here, sort of pipes. I know that's some sort of little stowage thing that goes on the side there. Maybe they keep their maps in there, you know. Who knows? You let me know what goes in these little stowage pipes. And there's a couple of little bits and pieces down here you use. And that's it. That's about all you use. You don't use any of the wheels or the drives or any of that. So let's bugger that off. Now, sprue B had had the top of the hull, which I'd removed because it was sort of already bending and looking like it would snap and become an almighty bloody disaster. So I made sure that wouldn't happen. Now, bags are trying to attack. Go away! Bags are trying to get back on the sprues. This is sprue B, and the turret, it's got some weld lines on there. It's not too bad. It may not be, well, it's obviously not the latest Dragon with all the super duper detail and all the fiddly bits they go to, and lots of stuff's already moulded on, but this will still build up into a reasonably nice kit. I mean, this is almost like Tamiya in some ways. It's already sort of done for you, so it's a much easier build. I don't mind that, really. And for 2 shekels, how can you go wrong? So we will use most of this. We won't use whatever this little fiddly bit is. Another one, another bit. And there's another little fiddly bit down here. We won't use that. And a couple of little sods and sods in here. But basically, we will be using this back plate, and that's all right. Nothing wrong with that. Everything's already moulded in. Yep. So you won't be putting that on. And isn't that so much like a T-34? And that's kind of what they were doing here when they invented the Panther. They were basically trying to make like the Rusky tanks. So they put all the little slopey armour and all the rest of it, and they kind of pinched a lot of those ideas off the Ruskies. At least that's my understanding of the history. But this isn't too bad. Bottom of the turret, top of the turret, it's okay. And I don't know if we use, we do use that. We use that little mantlet, and that's probably the back piece. Don't know. We'll have a look at the instructions in a sec. I like to do the plastic first, don't you? Get through the bloody plastic, have a look, see what we're up against. Now, there's lots of sea parts. Lots of sea parts. It was a huge big bag of what's in the sea. Now there's 2 of these. 2 of these guys. And you don't use hardly anything except these look like the muffler colours for the back. That's it. That and this little whiz-bang little sucker here, which is probably part of the same assembly. And a couple of little bits here, and that's all. You don't get to use any of this because this doesn't have side skirts, so that's all you got. So you don't get to use these wheels, and you don't get to use any of that. I imagine if the fancy took you, you could basically steal these buggers and put them on if you wanted. Sort of a bit like sort of snoozing. What's it called? Sneezing. No. The side panels, they put onto a bit of side armour. Well, they're there, but they're not actually specified in this kit. Now, more of the sea sprue. This is also called sea sprue. There's, C1 and C2. There's 4 of these. Well, actually, there's 5 of the link sets. So their drawings in the instructions are a little bit different to what we've got here. But they're all Indy links, and they're not too foul. They're all going to require a bit of cutting off, but that's not a bad cut point. It looks fairly simple and easy to remove. And I don't mind doing Indy links. I'd far rather have Indy links any day than link and length, although the last link and length on that Academy kit for the Hetzer weren't too bad. But I'm quite a fan of Indy links, and I'll quite happily cut all those out. And the wheels, the wheels, they were okay. They're steel too, there's no rubber on these. So there'll be none of that bloody masking and painting of rubber required. Just basically whack them all on and chuck a bit of paint on and put a little bit of chipping and silvering around the edges, and there you go. So that's not too bad. There's 4 of those. Then you've got a J sprue. Amazing how it goes from C to J, but that's how it goes. Now, I haven't taken these out. These are just little fiddly, they're little caps. They obviously, once you get all those wheels on, because there's quite a lot of wheels. It's all sort of interlocking, and it's going to be exciting. I haven't built a Panther ever. I built a Tiger once when I was a kid, but I've never built a Panther, so this will be a lot of fun. So those little caps, I'll take them out. Moving on to E. Now there's 2 E's, and E looks exciting, doesn't it? And E's the one where those guys were the ones that were already built. So there was, these are sort of the little drive wheels with the sprockets on, and they were in there like that, and now they're not because they've already been made. But that's okay, that's not a problem. Now there's a lovely barrel here. We're not using that. No, we're not using the barrel from E sprue at all. In fact, we don't use any of that section there. We don't use any of these. We don't use these hatches. They're not required. But most of these other little bits and pieces we will use, and we'll find out what the hell they're all for later. And the detail, it's not bad, It's not bad for what it is. And again, keep reminding yourself, 2 shekels. For 2 shekels, it's a mighty kit with a lot of parts. with a lot of parts, because you get 2 of those. Now, moving on from E, we go to F. And F seems to be specific to this kit, because lo and behold, we're using a lot of F. We really are. There's the final drives there. We won't be using this mantlet though. No, that's not being used, but there's little, they obviously go on the back of the hull there, and that's all part of the venting system for the motor. And this is a steering wheel. No, it isn't. I don't know what that is. It's some little doodad, and that's I think that's part of the MG housing there. I'd hazard a guess. And there's more bits and pieces here which could be part of the rear muffler system. Don't know. I'm not that familiar with these Panthers. I know what that is. That's a jack block, and there's a bloody thing for taking your nuts off your wheels. Maybe. It's some sort of spannery thing, isn't it? I don't know. It looks like a wheel nut. But you don't sort of use much there, and there's bits and pieces here you don't use. Some of these tools don't go in. But you use a lot of it. So you use a bit of F. F gets a look in. Good old F. Now, moving along from F, we get to M and N. And no, they're not bloody chocolates. No. Don't get excited and salivate. Here's M and there's N. It's one of those sort of strange things that Dragon does. I think other kit makers do it too. These are all the M bits, and then they just kind of whack on the N sprue and it's there. Because here's me, I'm working out my sprues before I do the video, thinking I'll get them in order, be organised, I'll cut them out of the bags, won't be stuffing around as usual, bloody fighting with bloody bags and looking like a bloody wimp because I couldn't even fight my way out of a paper bag. So I found the M sprue and looking everywhere for the N sprue, and I'm going, bloody hell, Bernard and I had this open on the table and it's probably fallen on the floor at the model club, bloody hell, bloody Bernard, bloody. N sprue is attached to M sprue, M and N. So, sorry Bernard, cursed your name for a second there, tried to blame you, but it was me, it was dumb old Harry Houdini. Sorry about that. Anyhow, back to the review. Well, we actually get to use all of M sprue except for one widget over here. And that's the best bloody effort in this entire kit, because most of it's got Harpic, Flashmatic, bloody blue on it. But no, M sprue is good. So we get to use this barrel. Unfortunately, it's one of those two-sided jobs. You got to glue the sucker together and then sand it all, and oh dear. Had a look online to see, okay, was there a nice metal barrel? And yes, there is. There's quite a few you can get. The only ones I could find available, well, they were more than 2 shekels. They're more than what I paid for the bloody kit. And I'm thinking, would I? Oh, I don't know. I might have a go at cementing that together and see how good my skills are. I did it back with the Tamiya T34, and I got that barrel looking not too bad. And then I ended up buying a metal one down the track, and when I had a look at it, my metal one it was okay, but I'd done such a good job of gluing the two together that I might make this a challenge. It's only got 2 little sprue points here, and you never know, it might go together all right. It might. So we use these mantlets, we do all that, and there's this little sort of ringy bit that was back on sprue A that we didn't use, and we will be using it on this sprue, or was it sprue B? On sprue B there was one of those. So we will be using pretty well everything on here, which is good. And then N down here, N of the M&Ns, well, we use some of it. There's some little pipey things here that might be cleaners, and there's a little widget here, and that's about all. We don't get to use any of these exciting little bits. No, they're not required. So it's typical Dragon. You get your hopes up, you look at all the parts, you think, great, and then you don't get to bloody use them. So I thought, because I've seen other people do reviews, and they're going through all the parts and thinking how wonderful they are, and then of course they've checked the sprue map, and half the things they said, that's nice and that's good, you don't use it. So I made sure I'm checking that first. So I'm telling you the truth. But look, it's okay. The detail's not too bad. That machine gun looks all right. Is it going to focus? No, it's not going to bloody focus, is it? Right, machine gun's not too bad. It's not a Gen 2. Remember, this is Imperial. You know? Dum, dum, da-dum, dum, da-dum, dum. Dragon, I am your father. Anybody get that joke? Yeah, you might. You're an old bugger like me. Right, so that's M&Ms, right? Not chocolate. They are sprues, and they do get used. H sprue, well, we already did that. Well, H part. That's this with all the little wheelie bits, which are really good. Right, and then there's only really G left. And I've left him in the bag because he's that command antenna. See, he's here in his little funnel-shaped thing, sort of sticky-uppy like that. And that's the command antenna. So, you know, if I do follow the kit and make it as per what it's supposed to be, it has this little weird little antenna situation here, and it's command. And we might do that. We might follow the kit instructions. We might make it. I can always buy another Panther. I had a look online. I mean, you can pay up to like 8 shekels and 9 shekels for these bloody Dragon Panthers. But they're all different versions. And they all do different things. And I'm sure they've probably got barrels and photo etch and, you know, every tiny little earth-shattering, tiny little nail-scratching bit has to be glued on. Well, I won't have to do that with this. This will be an easy build. This will be fun. But I'll get a bit of the other stuff on my bench out the way first, and we'll do that. So there we go. So look, that's that. Now you say, that's all very well, Harry Houdini, but what's in the instructions? Well, let's have a look. Let's see what we've got. Now, it's a big foldy outie, right? As typical, it's a big concertina, you know. So, there you go. Did you get that? You get that? Well, we'll go through it bit by bit. I wouldn't tease you. All right, so as usual, this is a bit of, you know, attention. Do not do this, do not do that, do not do the other, you know, the usual sort of stuff. Doesn't indicate a lot of colours, and they're the usual drag. If you've done Dragon, you know it's in this Guns, Sanyo, Aqueous Hobby colour, and then the Mr. colour and the Taliaria. That's all they tell you. So you need to go and get yourself iModel Kit or one of those other sort of apps for your iPod and your your Uphone or whatever, and then you can convert them. But sorry about that, I had to go away and have a look and try and find these little guys. So I've already got these. So they've already got the German dark yellow. I've got that, and I've got the rot brown, and I've got the olive green. So I've already got those colours, and that's the one I got for the when I was doing the tiny little stalk, and just so I could get the modulation colours for the Panzer Grey. But it's also got a few different browns and things in there, and I might see which ones match. One of these, or 3 of these, has got to match the tricolour camo scheme that's indicated for this kit. More of that in a sec. Get on with it, Harry Houdini. Bloody hell. All right, so step 1, which we've already started. Okay, so step 1 down here, which we're working on. We're getting a little those little sprockety things and getting the housing. Oh, can you hear that? Can you hear the kookaburras? They're having a good old laugh. It's been raining, been pissing down all morning. Yeah, no hot water, bloody cold. Had to fill a bucket with hot water from the bloody kettle and pour that over me. Yeah, that was a sight to see. Yeah, a friend of mine said, was it Roger Dangerfield or something? Rodney Dangerfield. I don't know what that is, but obviously it's some sort of half-hearted, muddy insult compliment. Anyhow, look, here's your wheels. They all go on. There's the little cappy things, so that's all quite good. And there's final drive, and these are obviously the you make them up. There's those muffler business, and they get made up, so that's there. And there's those things. I don't know what they are. Some sort of little bloody things, cans at the back there. What do you think they are for? I don't know. You let me know. Little can. They wouldn't be fuel tanks. I mean, you wouldn't have your fuel tanks on the back of the bloody tank, would you? So someone just come along, light a match, and that's it. So that's all pretty easy. Nothing terribly taxing there. Right. And then you move on to. It's all a bit foldy-woldy, isn't it? Sorry, bear with me. So then, there's that little, there's another little round mantlet there for the machine gun that goes in there, and you've got some little front pieces that go on. Oh, you could probably leave those off and let the tracks show. I always like that look where you basically knock the little front fenders off and then the tracks all stick out. So that's all very simple. There's only a few little brackety things. And there's those little waffly bits. I didn't know what they were. They're obviously going in the back there. No way you could access and show an engine, as it just doesn't open up. And there's those sort of fan mounts, which obviously go over the top of the motor. It's not too bad. You get a bit of detail, not a lot. So, purists that get all excited about all the bits and pieces, well, you're not going to get that in this kit. It's Imperial, right? You get enough, and that's all you get. So there's a little aerial. That's the little command tank aerial that goes on there. And then, there's that tube thing, as I said, that sort of straps to the side, and they keep their maps in there, or maybe they have big long loaves of French bread, because they sort of did have this. They would have used this in that sort of era. So, very long baguettes. That's their baguette holder, that one. And there's some tracks that whack on the side, and there's some of your tools they're going to go on. So that's all good. That's not too hard. And moving along here in step 14, more tools going on, all pretty easy. And finally we get to the turret. The turret assembly it's not that hard. Cupola, not a lot going on the cupola, like you're not actually putting in individual periscopes. It's all moulded as one. It's a simple little kit, It's just going to be a nice, easy little kit to put together. And I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. And it should fit all right. It's still Dragon. It still should go together. It shouldn't be like a god-awful bloody Zvezda kit. At least I hope not. We'll see what it's like when I actually build it. And there's those two halves of that barrel going together. We'll give that a try. And if that is an almighty cock-up, then we'll just have to bloody fork out the couple of shekels and get ourselves a snappy little metal barrel. And finally there, the tracks go on the Indy links. They'll be okay, I enjoy doing those. They're always a lot of fun. And there's a little indication here, cut this off, do that. Oh, who knows what that's all about. All very exciting. I think that's it. Yeah, that's basically it. And then there's only one colour scheme that they provide, which is the one indicated on the box. So really it's probably prettier if you go there. All right, so that's what you get. That's what you get for your money, you know. So there you go, that's it. That's all there is to this kit. Now it's not a very complicated kit, it's early Dragon, it's Imperial stuff, it's only 20th century Dragon. It's not the 21st century with lots and lots and lots of little bits of photo etch and all that exciting stuff. So it's in their early days, and there's good reports and bad reports about those kits. Who knows, it's a lottery, but it's 2 shekels and it's a bloody panther. So see how we go. Now I did also got my arm twisted. Wow, didn't take much. But it also had this one, King Tiger. Never built a King Tiger either. So that was 3 shekels. Not much more. Wow, 50% more. But that one's pretty mighty, and that comes with a lot of stuff. There's a lot of really good stuff in there, including a camo mask. But we'll review that another day. For now, this is what this video was all about. The Panther. So that's cheered me up. Just looking through the kits cheered me up. I forgot all my woes. I'm not worried about my cold showers. I'm not worried about my trolls. I'm still worried about my computer. Ah, look, it's a computer. You just bang some new bits in and it'll get fixed, you know, whatever, you know. Hit it with a hammer. Oh dear. All right. Well, I'm getting, I think my blood sugar level's getting low. Can you tell? I better get some lunch. You know, I better get something to eat. So, tell you what, I'm going to fiddle and faff around with this now. Now that I'm in review, I'm going to cut the wheels off and have a bit of fun. And I'll just sort of play with this kit today. And later in the week, I will get the last part of the construction of the head up. Because then you'll understand what the hell I was talking about that timey-wimey stuff earlier on. So there you go. And a shout out to my mate Pete. Pete, if you're there and if you're watching and if you got this far in the video without falling asleep and snoring, well mate, we know you've got a big belly and we know you're not feeling well. We know you've got an alien growing inside you. Well, that's what we all think. We know you're crook, mate. We know you're bursting, you know, bubbling up. Well look, we hope you get better, okay? So I'm wishing you all the best from down under, and there's a lot of guys online, I've seen them also. We're all rooting with you. No, we're rooting for you. Oh God, we're rooting something, mate. I better get some lunch. All right, that's it. That's goodbye from Australia. It's hooroo from Harry Houdini.